Most of the best add-ons out there are paid, but there are some useful add-ons out there that can really give you an alternative to some of the paid ones, and sometimes it can be just a good start. Before we continue, I want to tell you guys about the Superhive Market Winter Sale, which is taking place right now, with thousands of products on sale with a 25% discount, and this is a great chance to get some of your favorite add-ons. And if you don't know where to start, I have in the description of this video a list of some of the best add-ons and courses out there. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. I'm going to start with Engon, which is an add-on that helps you stop hunting through file explorers and use assets like a library. In fact, it is an open source asset browser, which is free of course, and it is GitHub hosted too, and designed to work even offline. So it is not just a UI, it is a whole ecosystem. On the feature side, you have quick search, filters and tags, instant spawning, snap to ground so your scene doesn't look like it is haunted by floating props. In addition to random transforms to avoid copy-paste repetition, you also have convert to linked or editable toggles when you want to either keep things lightweight or go full edit mode. In addition to scatter as a one-button distribution feature, it also has a migrator feature to fix older scenes when assets change. It introduces asset packs as pack files, installable through Engon. Another interesting add-on is KitOps 3 Free, which is the classic hard surface KitOps accelerator, which feels like cheating, but in a good way. And by the way, there is a paid version of this add-on, but the free version can go a long way, especially when you are blocking out sci-fi panels, vents, rebels, or any of that functional detail stuff. KitOps, as you probably know, is about inserts, which are Blender files that can be cut or added to existing geometry, and about being able to drop assets quickly to explore designs. So it is about that drag and drop workflow that automatically cuts holes, snapping inserts to faces, edges, vertices, and so on. And on the fly, you have scaling and rotation controls during placement, which is exactly what makes it feel like a design tool other than just importing assets. It also allows you to save assets into libraries or K-packs with thumbnails and being able to save or apply materials. On the other hand, Curve Facefilled is a very Blender technical artist solution to a super common problem. That is, if you have curves and you want a clean, editable surface to extrude, bevel, or use just as a pattern. So the add-on is about filling complex shapes from curves and grid lines with an editable face in real time, including a projected curve drawing workflow that helps you stay straight or aligned while stretching concepts or outlining shapes for later extrusion directly on the object. It is also useful for 2D patterns and complex hard surface shapes, and with the recent updates, you have improved orientation system, a face field button that separates and auto-creates an editable surface, automatic collection organization, in addition to an extension panel that includes modifiers like bevel and solidify. In other words, this is less of a magic mesh generator and more of a high curve-to-surface drafting board. Mesh Wrap by Kiri engine is one of those add-ons that exists because the default tool, in this case Shrink Wrap, isn't bad per se. It is just not built for that specific pain of scan-based environment building. So the add-on is designed to wrap terrain and surface scans onto base meshes without loss of detail that traditional shrink wrap workflows can introduce. So Mesh Wrap works through ray-based projection with planar wrap for a single mesh-to-surface workflow and additional controls like wrap direction and the surface not found warning if the projection setup is simply wrong. They also bake in real-world prep helpers like auto rotate, quick 90-axis rotation buttons, and origin setters, because scan pieces are messy and pivots matter. It even includes an add decimate step, because scattering too many scanned assets can rocket poly counts into million, so decimation and only scattering what the camera needs are basically part of the intended workflow. Also from Kiri engine we have an add-on called Scatter, which is a set dressing without no tree suffering kind of tool, and the big selling point is that it gives you 3 distinct placement modes, so you can switch mental gears without switching the add-ons. You have click for hero placement via viewport clicking, and simple scatter for no destructive geometry node scattering across surfaces, volumes, or along curves or paths. And lastly you have physics scatter for rigid body drop and settle, so gravity or collisions decide the final pile. There are also other great scattering tools, but many of them are pricey, and this one is as simple as it gets for beginners, or someone who want to do things on the fly. Lazy Select is one of those deceptively small tools that can make mesh editing feel sticky in a good way, because it attacks a pure annoyance, which is constantly switching vertex, edge, and face modes. The core idea is hover-based auto detection, where the add-on highlights what you are about to select, and you just click. So it adds quick loop selection patterns, and a genuinely useful selection bookmarks feature in the M panel, so you can save and restore complex selections without turning your brain into a clipboard. It is designed to be non-interfering, I mean only active when you toggle it, and it calls out a clear shortcut flow, which can be really useful. On the other hand, Lazy Rename is super specific, and that's why it is good. If you've ever done baking, you know that rename everything to low and high step is kind of both boring and easy to mess up, and this add-on is basically a one-click way to append consistent suffixes and avoid manual typing, which makes it feel like a tiny automation that prevents bigger downstream issues, because bakers and exporters tend to be extremely literal about naming. So it is not trying to be a giant renaming suite, it is just trying to make the naming convention when it comes to baking kinda less painful. KC Sheep Free Bundle, on the other hand, is not an add-on, but a small playground of polished mini projects, if you will. You will get 4 free Blender projects or shaders meant for exploration rather than support-heavy productions. It includes a real-time portal effect for sci-fi and motion design, in addition to a sci-fi effects shader pack with an add-on, another shader in addition to a project file bundle intended to be ready to render and usable in commercial work too. Simply Loop, on the other hand, is basically a decimation tool, but for people who actually care about loops, which is a very subdivision surface modeling mindset. You want to reduce density without destroying the structure that makes the model editable, so it simplifies a mesh using its edge loops while keeping important details intact, especially with the typical sub-D problems, where you end up with a bunch of unnecessary loops and a high poly result that is heavier than it needs to be. They also added options for keeping certain edges, which matters a lot in practice because not ruining these support edges is usually the whole reason you hesitate to decimate. Local Asset Manager is aimed at a very specific problem. You see, Blender's built-in asset browser can be great, but if you already have a large and well-organized folder structure in your disk, marking assets and doing thumbnail hygiene can feel like an extra job. So this add-on is basically a local manager for your existing Blend libraries with blazing fast global search, smart folder setup, and a ruler-based thumbnail link. It also goes beyond assets with an HDR tool that includes light adjustment controls, multi-parameter HDRI tweaks, and even a ground projection mode to plant a model onto the ground plane for realistic shadows. And it bundles 100+ professional assets too, by the way. MC World Generator works as an instant Minecraft-style voxel landscape generator when you want, for example, stylized shots or quick environment placeholders without manually building with blocks. You can tweak area size, noise scale and size, assets, trees, and even animal density and caves as well. And if you've ever needed a blocky world for a render or an animation test, I think this kind of tool kinda gets you a usable starting point in just minutes instead of hours. Blender Rig is one of the most important tools in this list because it is a rigging system with an interactive rigging assistant guide that walks you through the whole rigging process, and it automates more than half of the labor for you so you can focus on the artistic decision and animation. Feature-wise, it is actually stacked. You have Mesh Deform for organic deformations, pre-weighted meshes to speed up weight painting, with hand and face still relying on weight painting, in addition to an advanced facial rig, automatic shape key and driver generation, and tools for editing rig actions into predefined poses and behaviors, and a workflow that supports sculpt tool editing of shape keys. And most importantly, this can be used by both beginners and professionals. Free Blocks Generator is a fun stylized anything into blocks kind of tool, which is more general than a world generator because it targets arbitrary meshes, not landscapes, and it converts any object into a Minecraft style blocks, giving you control over block size, and voxel resolution, and it can sample color from your materials and textures, and keeps things non-destructive by leaning on a modifier-based workflow. Just select an object, adjust the resolution and block size, then hit apply, and enjoy the blocky result. So it is built for quick experimentation and stylized renders across characters, props, terrains, you name it. PGT, or Procedural Generation Toolkit, is the kind of add-on where you press a button and get a sci-fi form, but it is not just one generator. It is a small kit of procedural operations that you can mix, and it has 3 core functions: generating a random spaceship base, a mesh scramble, and generating sci-fi materials. And it is important to know that you can tweak parameters or fully randomize your input, and you can use the operations in any order. Free Theme Maker is purely about making Blender's UI theme customizable, and more like about shaping a cohesive look quickly. I mean, it comes with easy color scheme tweaks, real-time previews when you adjust the contrast or elements, and you have versatile element control over things like headers, backgrounds, buttons, and text. It also has a save and share themes workflow, which is nice if you're trying to keep consistent UI setups across a team or between machines. And this is the kind of tool that doesn't change what Blender can do, not in any way, but it can make long sessions feel way nicer. Autouv, on the other hand, is a UV mapping add-on. If you need UVs fast, for a simple model, I mean, it is not a replacement for careful seam work, for asset heroes especially, but it can automatically unwrap objects and quickly generate UV maps with an intentionally simple UI where you click dedicated buttons to create or remove UV maps, but it is best suited for simple geometry, as I said. Cleaning Blender files is a blend process, which you can reach when the blend file starts feeling mysteriously heavy, so this add-on kinda clears the junk, like deleted materials and meshes, in addition to lights, node groups, images, and more, which means what usually takes hours through manual hunting is done with a click of a button. It also has more specific cleanup options, like removing empty material slots across the scene, and a mode to clean up selected objects for geometry garbage via operations like merge by distance, delete loose, delete interior faces, fill holes, and make planar faces. Quick UV Checkers, on the other hand, is a small tool, but also begs the question, why doesn't Blender ship this as a default shortcut? I mean, it lets you toggle a UV checker texture on and off, and you can instantly see stretching and texel density issues while wrapping. You can press Shift+W and slide your mouse right to enable the checker, or left to disable it, then adjust the checker scale through the M panel, and optionally point the add-on at a custom checker texture path in the preferences. Last but not least, I'm gonna talk about Grungit, which is a good add-on when clean shaders are killing your realism, and it has the advantage of being both fast and deeply tweakable. The thing is, it is basically a wear and tear system, with controllable results ranging from subtle imperfections to heavy damage, while also focusing on low performance and compatibility with Eevee. The feature list is actually pretty dense for a free add-on. You have edge wear, grunge, dirt generation, full PBR workflow, and a one-click PBR baker, in addition to topology independence, keeping existing materials as long as they use Principal BSDF, in addition to an advanced mode for manual control, also hand painting to add or remove grunge layers, and a quick mode for uniform wear. You also have support for multiple objects and multiple materials, real-time adjustability and animatability, and even auto unwrapping. And there you have it, guys. If you like these add-ons, you will find all the necessary links in the description. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.